Oh, what is good, people? This is OJ over here from PlayerEssence, and welcome to the PE Nintendo Switch news video. Today, we've got a bunch of great topics for you guys, in addition to a very interesting rumor by my boy Studio Q over there. So let's go ahead and jump right into the news. So the first thing is, State of Mind will be coming to Nintendo Switch. So I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce the developer's name, but they have confirmed that State of Mind, which previously was announced for the PS4, Xbox One, and PC, will also be coming to the Nintendo Switch. So here's kind of the breakdown or the description of State of Mind. So, State of Mind is a futuristic thriller game delving into transhumanism. The game explores themes of separation, disjuncture, reunification in a world that is torn between dystopian material reality and a utopian virtual future. There's a lot of interesting words thrown into there. So basically what you can expect from this game is a third-person adventure, story-driven gameplay experience, switching between two game worlds, multiple story layers, multiple playable characters, and a unique art style. The release date for the game is yet to be announced, but of course updates will come as the Nintendo Switch and PS4, Xbox One as the time goes on this year. And remember guys, this is just one of many games that are actually being announced. There's a few more games which I'll get to definitely in other videos, but there are more games being announced for the Nintendo Switch as we go along. There's definitely going to be a lead up into the launch, so we are going to hear about more games, and of course I'll be updating my confirmed games list. If you haven't seen that video, make sure you check it out in the description below, where I break down all of the confirmed games for the Nintendo Switch. So this is another one added to the plate here. Moving on to the next bit of news, we do have another rumor. And remember when you guys said that the rumors would stop after the presentation? No, I don't think so. So a Nintendo rep claims that the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild will have multiple voiceover tracks. So according to a French Nintendo rep, every copy of the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild will feature an option to have Japanese voice acting instead of the game's native voice acting. This cannot be confirmed at the moment, but it would be a nice feature to have, as many games do have something like that. For example, Bravely Second on the Nintendo 3DS. You can choose between the English voice actors or between the Japanese voice actors. And sometimes it's good to change the voices. Sometimes I guess it's bad. Just depends on how you feel about the actual voice acting. I know for me, Bravely Second, I had to switch to the Japanese voice actors because the English ones aren't very good. But then in some games, it's actually good for the English voice actors. So it all depends on what you feel. But if this was true, I think it would be a good idea. Now, to combine with that, the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is 13.4 gigabytes as far as the total game space. So is that enough for that type of big game in addition to dual voice track? Who knows? We'll have to see. There's a lot of music in there. There's a lot of stuff in the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. And if it had a dual voice track, either there's just not a lot of sounds as far as the voice acting goes, or there's cutbacks somewhere. So let's see if it actually adds up. But it would be really cool if this does actually end up being true. Next, and this one is a very strange rumor, guys. This is a very strange rumor. My boy Studio Q over there, he actually had a rumor from one of his sources, okay? And some of his sources have gotten some things right in the past as far as what they've told him about. And they say that Noire is coming to the Nintendo Switch. So for those who don't know what Noire is, Noire was a very interesting title, alright? It was released all the way back in May of 2011, May 17th, 2011 to be exact. And this game had just a whole bunch of people. It was really Rockstar that was kind of overseeing things and helping out, but it was also developed by a team called Team Bondi, and it was really published by Rockstar Games. Now, this game was initially for the PS3 and Xbox 360 platforms, like I said, May 17, 2011. Then later, there was a Microsoft Windows port on November 8th, 2011. All right, so what this game is about in Noire is actually set in Los Angeles, all right, and in 1947, and challenges the player on controlling a Los Angeles Police Department officer to solve a range of cases across 5 divisions. Players must investigate crime scenes for clues, follow up for leads, interrogate suspects, and the player's success of these activities will impact how much each case story is revealed. Now, I actually played this game back then, and I remember this game a lot. And I just remember being kind of excited and thrilled at some parts, then just being thoroughly underwhelmed at other parts. It wasn't a bad game by any means, but I just don't think the tech and just the open world and everything was ready. The controls just seemed a bit sloppy. This could be a much better port on the Nintendo Switch with better architecture. I think it could end up being a lot better than the original PS3 and Xbox 360 release. I have not played the PC version of the game, but overall, it's definitely not a bad game, and it was very unique. It was really cool because you actually had to like read the person if they're like lying or not, looking at their facial expressions. I remember being very intrigued and enjoying myself quite a bit playing this game. Unfortunately, it just cost way too much money to pay all the actors and all the different technology that they're using. It was all state-of-the-art stuff back in 2011, and the game just didn't sell enough. It sold okay, it sold good, it just didn't sell enough, and I think Team Bondi went under from what I remember, or Rockstar just basically cut ties with them. So if this does actually end up happening, it would be very interesting if they're bringing this type of game to them, but I think more than anything, it would be a test bed for Rockstar's games on the Nintendo Switch. How does it initially, like, people react to it? I don't think Rockstar, if this does happen, obviously this is a rumor, but I don't think Rockstar would be expecting this game to be like a blockbuster or anything. It's really old. At one point it was like $5 on Steam and like $10 on PS3 and Xbox 360. So I don't think they're expecting that, but just to see if there is interest in this type of game. But I do think just to see if there's interest or enthusiasm from Nintendo fans to play this style of game and test out the engine running on the Nintendo Switch before they decide to bring over some of their bigger projects, maybe like a GTA or a Red Dead. Whatever the case is, it's interesting, and of course, more unique gameplay experiences that you could use the Nintendo Switch's unique features would actually be really good. The Nintendo Switch does have a camera that can sense certain things on the actual Joy-Cons. It does have the HD rumble features. There's a lot of cool stuff that you can actually use. Shooting a gun with those Joy-Con switches, IR, HD rumble with IR on the Pro Controller, that can be really cool, especially for what Noire offers. So I do think it is a weird thing, but to a creative mind, it can definitely be pretty cool, whether you're playing with some Joy-Con controllers or you're playing with the actual Pro Controller. So I'm interested in seeing if this happens, and I would definitely buy this game again if it did, because I bought it the first time and I thought it was great and I never finished it, and I'm not exactly sure where I left it at, but I do know that I would buy a Switch version. Obviously, if it just wasn't $60, if it was discounted a little bit, then I definitely would pick it up as soon as it launched if this does turn out to be true. Now, just to add a little bit more on there, Direct Feed Games Drake from NeoGAF, he's actually been known to have some sources as well, and he said that he's also heard whispers of this a month or so ago, and it looks like it's going to be an E3 announcement with the release some few months afterwards if it does end up happening. So let me know what you guys think about this game, and what are your memories of Noire? Did you guys play it back in the day? I know the 360 version, man, it had like 4 discs. You had to install all those bad boys if you wanted to get some decent loading times, and even then they were still kind of long. So I actually think I'd have a better impression of this game if it was on the Nintendo Switch and I can play it then, or maybe if I played the Windows PC version. Either way, let's see what they do. I think it could be interesting with the tech that the Nintendo Switch is offering, and if Rockstar does want to do this, it's just a step. It's a step in the right direction, because obviously Rockstar didn't release anything on the Nintendo Wii U, and this would be some support, so some is better than none. Alright guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Go ahead and hit that like button if you did like it. Let me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future, and subscribe to PlayerEssence for more news, reviews, trailers, tips and tricks, and everything in gaming. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys for the next video. Peace!